That scene was so emotional. Like, I was in the room with Ash and we were showing each other our photos. It showed me how much progress has been made so that Ash's generation can come out younger and see themselves. At 15, 16, I didn't know what the hell trans was. I think that's part of the reason why they're attacking us so much is because of how much progress has been made. It's like a pendulum, right? I'm proud of these younger trans and queer kids coming out. Bless them. That's amazing.
Hello, and welcome to Power Beyond Pride, a weekly queer change-making podcast bringing you voices and ideas from across our fierce and fabulous spectrum to transform our world. I'm Daniel W.K. Lee, poet, author, and Billie Jean is not my lover.
Ooh, yes, Billie Jean. And I am Mattie Bynum, the one and only loudest in the building, the sweetest, the biggest heart, and also the most ferocious lion you will ever meet. That is who I am in a nutshell. Yay. And Billie Jean was not my lover, but I did beat it a couple times. So we got to go there. We are your co-hosts on today's Queercast journey, and we are delighted to have Tony. Okay, hold on, wait a minute. Tony Zosherafatain. I said it. Yes. Okay.
That's
Tony
good.
is
You
an
said it.
award. Thank you, baby. See, I heard him. He has a beautiful voice. Tony is an award-winning director, producer, and writer known for his timely and innovative stories. His work focuses on the ways in which people navigate identity and intersectional issues. Welcome, Tony.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be on this podcast. And you said my name so well. It was like you're a pro.
Like we practiced it before we started or something.
Right. We did not just have a 10-minute tutorial, okay? Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us on the podcast, Tony. For our audience, just to name a few of your titles. You've done short films, Fratello, Venture Out, and short documentaries, I Am Isaac, Call Me Kai, Finding Cedar, and your feature documentary, Trans and Trumpland. I'll start off with this question. How has your lived experience shaped or imprinted itself on your work?
Yeah, absolutely. I first got into filmmaking in 2012, and that was only a year before I started my transition. I'm a trans man, so my identity directly impacts my work because it was transitioning that got me into filmmaking because I saw how little stories there were at that time and even now about trans people. So I was like, okay, well, I studied some film. Why don't I get into this and tell these stories that need to be told? Because I feel like at the time and right now, trans people are not in front of the camera or behind the camera as much as they need to be, and queer people too. So that's how I got into it. Was I just felt this deep need to tell our community's stories. So immediately right away, I just connected this need for social justice for trans and queer people with filmmaking. So I mostly do documentaries, but I am getting into scripted a little bit more. I have some friends that are like, can you produce my scripted films? And I'm like, all right, I can do this. But yeah, I love telling authentic stories. You know what I mean? Yeah.
No, I love it. And I think
Absolutely.
that's a beautiful thing that you allow a space to share those authentic stories. So I got a question that's going to be flipped opposite. So instead of how have you imprinted on your documentaries and films, how has meeting the people you have worked with imprinted on your life? Like, how has it reflected to make you either be more introspective or to value things that has happened to you?
Yeah, definitely. Like Trans and Trumpland, filming that as a New Yorker, going to red states and meeting these trans people that have to deal with very oppressive laws at the state level too. absolutely transformed my life and the way I approach filmmaking. I felt like I became a better listener. I became more empathic meeting them. And I realized like how much privilege I have living in a blue state as a trans person, because I can still at the end of the day fill my testosterone prescription. I can have some rights if I get discriminated against. But these poor people that I met, they don't have those rights. And we live in the same country. And that's crazy. So they imprinted on me a lot. They made me more grateful. They made me more committed to telling these stories, and they made me like more committed to fighting for trans rights. And they're just lovely people because they're fighting every day in these awful states every day. And they're still like happy. They still have joy too.
Have you done much kind of follow up with some of your subjects, particularly with respect to trans and Trumpland, given this kind of we're gone in this terrible, well, circle of violence with our own history, I guess.
Yeah, it feels like deja vu. Not even deja vu. It feels like the second term now is like honestly worse than the first term, the
Mhm.
second Trump term. So yeah, I've been following up. I stay in touch with all of them. Specifically, I immediately followed up after Trump won with Ash, who's our North Carolina. He's a trans kid. At the time of filming was only like 16. He's like closer to 18 or 19 now, and he's in college. So I was like, how are you doing? You're getting attacked as a trans kid every day. And he's good. And so I check in with them. Ivana from the third episode, she's down in Mississippi, and I check in with them. I'm like, how are you guys doing? What do you need from me? And they're such like fighters that they're always like, oh yeah, I'm good. They always they're like, yeah, don't worry about me. But I've thought about a season two. I don't know emotionally if I'm ready for that though. It's a lot. It's a lot to tell these stories too. Yeah.
I know it is a lot, but we definitely appreciate it as an audience. I just need you to understand that, because my next question was going to be, is there a number two coming? Because I'm telling you, watching it for the third time, I still saw things that I didn't see the first time. And I think a lot of people
Really?
who have watched, I know for me, I was able to see a part of me in each case and each person that you talk to. Like Ivanka. First off, honey, I'm very flamboyant as well. And I love my fur just like she does. So I love it. And I grew up in a black hairstyling salon. So I know all about the freeze curls and the pump it up. So I thoroughly enjoyed watching all of them. But I think you could definitely come out for a second one. Yes.
I think I gotta do it. I think I gotta go. It would be different states. It'd be still red states, but I think different ones. But I think you're right. Everybody always asks me, like, Tony, when are you doing season two? And I'm like, all right, maybe I gotta buckle up and do it. But
That'll give you
it's
some
emotional, but
impetus.
it's joyous too, though. It's nice to
Yeah.
meet these people across the country. Yeah.
And isn't that really the definition of the work? It's like it is arduous, but it can give you unexpected joy, right? So
Exactly.
it's kind of rewarding in that way. I'm going to take a quick step back with this question. I know from growing up as a child of refugee parents that there is often a lot of pressure for their children to be high achievers. Would you mind sharing what your experience was with and growing up? What was your journey? You have Iranian father and a Greek mother. Did you get kind of experience a kind of, I don't know, what's the way to say this, like a desire to overachieve, perhaps, to kind of like feel like you have a place in this world or earn your place in
Oh,
this world?
Oh
You know?
yeah. I mean, I grew up with like Iranian parents there. My dad, if I got an A in a really hard class, he's like, why not an A plus? If I got an A plus, why not a double A plus? Which doesn't even exist. That's
Right.
like the type of dad I had. My mom, like Greek people are a little more chill. They're still like whatever. But my parents always wanted me to have a better life than they did because they were both immigrants. So it was always ingrained in me and my brother. If you don't have good grades, you're just gonna do physical labor like us. And we don't want you to do that. And they wanted me ideally to become like a doctor or lawyer. That's very Iranian. But I became a filmmaker. So I rebelled a little bit. Still a successful filmmaker, but yeah, I had that pressure growing up to be like a perfect straight A student athlete. So totally resonates with me.
He takes me back to the Cosby Show episode where Theo told Claire and Cliff that they had such a high bar set that for their kids is we can never amount to what you have done. And I relate to what you were
Mhm.
saying. My dad was the same way. I come home with an A and he like, okay, your point is, or why couldn't you do better? And I'm like, I got 100. What do you want me to get? 110, 120? And he was like, why not? Okay, so I definitely get you on the parents, but I do want to go back just a little bit to Trumpland because there was a part of Trumpland that you did that really stuck out to me, and that was the conversations you had with Ash. And by the way, I'm from North Carolina as well, so I totally get all the red state, good old. So yes, I live in one myself, but there was a good moment where y'all was sitting there talking and you expressed to him that when you grew up before 2000 and before 2005 there was never a conversation centered around trans living, period. So and then watching the documentary, that was the first thing that stepped out to me with Ash. It was like I wish I would have had the opportunity to do what you're doing now in school instead of waiting till later on in life, because growing up in the 80s and 90s, first off, you didn't even speak about gay and lesbian, let alone even knew that there was even people that were trans. So how did that moment sit with you and having that time to be able, because it was almost like you were able to go back to your younger self and have a conversation with Ash. So how did that, I guess my question would be, how did that resonate with you? But also, how do you feel that that resonates with other people who watch your documentary?
Yeah, that scene was so emotional. Like I was in the room with Ash and we were showing each other our photos and he showed a photo of him as a guy. He's already on T. And then I at the same age that he is, that he started to transition, I showed him my photo and I'm like a girl in it, right? So that was so emotional and I cried in that scene and it was not made up. Like those tears were flowing. I needed a moment. I needed a Kleenex. And for me, it showed me how much progress has been made like right now so that Ash's generation can come out younger and see themselves because I didn't have that growing up. At 15, 16, I didn't know what the hell trans was. I don't even think
Mhm.
I knew what like anything was at that age. I didn't hear trans until 19 in college. So I think that's part of the reason why they're attacking us so much is because of how much progress has been made. It's like a pendulum, right? So that was a very emotional moment because I saw myself in Ash because I knew at his age too that I was a trans man, but I didn't have the access to testosterone. I didn't have the words yet. So, but I'm proud of Ash that he came out, he did his thing. I'm
Mhm.
proud of these younger trans and queer kids coming out. Bless them. That's amazing.
Most definitely. Because even when you were talking to Ash about it, the first thing I remember I was thinking in my thinking process while watching it was I remember growing up, all I wanted to be was just a woman because I knew I was a woman. I didn't know what trans was until I think someone called me a trans woman when I was 25. And that was the first time I had ever heard trans or be referred to as a trans woman. And I was like, no, baby, I'm a woman. And they were like, no, but you're trans, right? And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I'm not in transition at this moment. I'm here and I'm sitting and I'm a woman. So I definitely understand that.
Absolutely. Well, we will return talking a little bit about Trumpland, at least the United States, after we take this short break. Please stay tuned with this episode of Power Beyond Pride, where we're in conversation with Tony Zosherafatain. Welcome back. This is Power Beyond Pride, a queer change-making podcast, and I am Daniel W.K.
Hey, nonprofit leaders, change makers, and community builders. If you're navigating growth, equity concerns, or just trying to make your work better, you need to know about Orange Cap Consultation, a boutique consulting firm led by me, Melody KG. Orange Cap offers community-rooted consulting to help mission-driven teams move with clarity, equity, and have a real impact. Whether it's strategic planning, meeting facilitation, leadership development, or helping you design community programs, I've got the experience and the heart to help you build what's next. Learn more at www.orangecapconsultation.com.
Your mission is vital. Let a great idea help you magnify its impact. As a queer-owned graphic design and digital development agency serving nonprofits, healthcare, and education nationwide since 2015, we're dedicated to growing, empowering, and activating your advocates. Our award-winning work speaks for itself. We deliver transformative change. Ready to see your impact grow? Book a session and let's get started at agreatidea.com. That's agreatidea.com.
Here with my co-host Mattie Bynum, talking to Tony Zosherafatain.
Yes.
I'm like, I keep on waiting for a little confirmation. I don't know why. But so my first question back is in this kind of, we were speaking earlier about this kind of turn of the wheel coming back to another Trump administration. Like, it's actually a turn of the wheel that's quite larger in that it doesn't seem that we're actually going anywhere. We're spinning our wheels in terms of have we made much progress, and particularly even now. But, you know, in your kind of your limited view of limited by your life view of where you've been and where we are now, how far have we progressed?
I think there's been like more visibility since the 90s. I will say that. I think that's happened. I think there's a little more access to hormones, for example, and gender affirming surgery. But I think you're so right, Daniel, with what you said about the pendulum. It keeps swinging. I feel like politicians swing it on purpose and create like new scapegoats, and now trans people are scapegoats. So it's like, it doesn't feel like we've actually gone too far since like Stonewall, for example. I do think some things have changed, but other things have stayed the same, to be honest.
Like what things?
Yeah. I think like access to hormones, I think like a lot of the research like about transition has changed. I think there are more trans characters and queer characters on screen, but the things that haven't changed is like broader understanding of trans people, like just having compassion towards trans people, especially in religious communities. I feel like that hasn't really changed a lot.
It's interesting that you said that, because I was going to ask you, do you think that we are more visible, or do you think we're more of a novelty? Because sometimes I feel like people treat us like a novelty sometimes, more so than giving us the credit that we deserve of just being here in the same space with you.
I agree, Mattie. I think right now, it's a lot more novelty, but I feel like when we had that trans tipping point in 2014 with Laverne Cox, it was more like visibility that saw us as people. But how did we go from 2014 to now with all the scapegoating? I don't understand. I don't know. I feel like in a pandemic shifted everything, but I don't know. Yeah, I think we just need to be seen as humans. That's it. That's a bare minimum. But we're not there yet.
Did the pandemic actually change your creative calculus a little bit?
I think it did, because we're all like stuck inside, and I feel like we all needed outlets, whatever that was. A lot of people did the crochet or whatever that is. Baking.
Don't frown on crocheting. Don't frown on crocheting, because I crochet, cross stitch, and knit. Yes, don't do that.
No, crochet is a fine art. But I feel like I turned into, I committed more to my filmmaking, I think, in 2020 and onwards. Definitely. It was a lot of editing. There was a lot of editing for Transit Trumpland in 2020. So, yeah, I guess the pandemic had its pros and cons.
Oh, I definitely had a glow up during the pandemic. I'm not going to lie to you. I think going inside for a few weeks and months was a beautiful thing. Because when I came back out, people were like, "Oh, you look good." I was like, I needed a break. Yes, praise the Lord. Y'all getting on my nerves. So I can agree to that. But let me ask this question. I do want to get political again one more time, because I love politics. But so New York City is considered a safe sanctuary city for not just trans, but LGBTQ members and also immigrants. Do you think that we will see more safe sanctuary cities pop up in the United States in the next coming years, only because we are living under a tyrant that thinks that he can abolish anything and everything?
I think so. I think like I try and be an optimist. I'm a Sagittarius. So I'm like, I think that because the pendulum has swung so far right, it's going to come back left. If it is just going to be a pendulum kind of thing. But I think we will see more pop up. across the country. I know Northeast has a ton of them, but maybe I like to see like more states in the South, like Austin, become one if it hasn't already. I'm sure Atlanta already is. But yeah, I think we'll see more because when you have this much like dictatorship, there's more resistance too. It's always like a
Mhm.
counterbalance, I feel like.
I think though in the South there is something, and I'm not. This is speculative, I guess. That I mean, we have in Louisiana a pretty awful governor, and it's not like our shit faced governor Ron DeSantis 2.0, and that's something to be called 2.0 of him, but would try to ape this kind of like tyrannical like application of their agenda. And I can see how even like in a state like Louisiana, that where even though New Orleans like produces or like really funds the state and because of our tax base in so many ways, that the state like would enact like punitive actions somehow towards a city like New Orleans. That'd be like, oh, we want to be a sanctuary city or something like that. And I do think that there could be kind of resistance in the South or parts of greater South, deep South, or whatever there, where there could be like another level of suppression, not just
Mhm.
by the president, but obviously by the governors.
Mm, yeah. That Ron DeSantis effect, like across the South.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm about to say because you got to remember
John.
Georgia's still a red state, and if Houston hasn't become a safe sanctuary city by now with all the LGBTQ plus members that live in Houston and Dallas Fort Worth, I don't foresee it happening. And the only reason I say that is because I look at it like this, and I'm going to relate it back to, and I might get some flack for this, but I do not care because I stand on everything I say. I'm going to relate this back to a racial situation. No matter how loud Black people are or how loud LGBTQ numbers are, cisgender will always be louder because their money and their voices carry over ours. And I think that that's what's going to always stop us from being able to cohabitate peacefully. Because you got to think about it, the victim, the hit dog will holler every time. So that they play victim so hard that and so loud that no matter how much progression we have, whether with Stonewall, even whenever we got gay rights to be able to marry and equally be married, like yet again, you gave us a bone, but you didn't let us get any closer to the table. Because even though, and I say this a lot, but even though had the equality to get married, who benefited from that? Cis white gay men did, and lesbians, not the entire LGBTQ plus community did not benefit from that. So even though we went far, we still haven't gotten nowhere. That's my opinion.
No, I agree with you. I think that if we want to think about it in terms of like system, that's undeniable, because what did marriage equality do, right? It just enlarged this kind of this this package of privileges or rights, if you want to insist on that, and just said, okay, you're now allowed to have these things. And what has gay rights or any kind of rights have been, for the most part, saying that we deserve these rights, and so we're just trying to enlarge these circles, rather than what radicals and queer people, or queers in terms of like capital Q politics, which has been saying, no, the whole structure is the problem. The problem is the idea of portioning rights for specific types of people. Everyone should have these rights, inheritance rights, and all these things. Why should
Mhm.
they be the providence
Yeah.
or special for married people? I think that's why we continue to just be so incremental, because our aspirations aren't to dismantle the systems. It's only to kind of like ingratiate ourselves to those things so we can enjoy them.
Mhm.
So I'm with you there, at least kind of like, yeah, that our vision of politics has been on the short side, because we're fighting for specific rights that we feel entitled to, rather than always attacking a system that is part of these bifurcations or divisions and stuff like that.
Um,
Yeah.
it's like after I feel like the LGBTQ movement became something where like we wanted to get ingrained into this like cis heteronormative culture and lifestyle when we don't really at the end of the day need that. There's nothing wrong with not wanting that or being different than that. And I agree, like we have to, I feel like, topple the system to create better lives for everybody. Like I think, yeah, I agree with you both there. That's like when you try and become something that you're not, it backfires. And I feel like we need to embrace more like queer transness than anything.
I think the beautiful thing about individuality is the fact that we are all individuals. I can never remember the lady's name, but she's the doctor that always talked about how we're all from Black people, the little short lady that has been around for years. But I remember she made a statement one time and she was like, instead of being a melting pot, why can't we just be a salad and let everybody be individual in who they are? I think that's the beauty of America. I can be 5'9", thick, curvaceous, gorgeous, and sexy, and strut down the street, and you can be 5'2" and a size 2 and do the same thing. And we're both should be happy to be able to do and be our own selves. I think the moment that we're trying to all be one thing is the issue that stops us from getting past where we are and further in the future. Because, like I say, individuality is what makes us special.
Yeah, and it actually kind of circle back to what you were saying earlier, which is that this kind of the bigger the platform, right? Like the we can take up more space and our voices are amplified more or whatever, and that has a way of distorting the playing field, and that is always a consideration in which how we are rendered, how we are perceived, how we get to be represented and stuff like that. And even though there's always our own pushes to do that, there's still limitations to those things because existing power structures kind of like can have effect on, for example, how much distribution Tony's films can have, or the like how quote unquote palatable it might be if the subjects are trans or trans people of color or poor or that kind of thing. So yeah, I mean, I think there's always going to be a limits of representation and stuff like that, not just in terms of the marketplace, but also as an ends, so to speak, towards like liberation. They kind of keep on thinking of, representation is the or even diversity, right? Is the answer. It's not the answer. It's just a tool to have more to justice. If the work isn't moving towards justice, then we're still remaining short-sighted to it all. I guess we have to take a break once again.
You know, those segments be going by so fast. The conversation is so good. I mean,
they do. We're taking a short break here, but we'll be back and to ask more insightful and prying questions to our guest, Tony Zosherafatain.
Welcome.
Are you looking for a way to make your philanthropy more meaningful and more aligned with social justice? Meet New Moon Network. New Moon helps individuals, institutions, and foundations move their dollars where they matter most, into grassroots movements advancing the rights and self-determination of people in the sex trade. If you're a funder ready to move in solidarity with sex workers and survivors, this is your invitation to come learn about our movement and help fund meaningful advancement for sex workers' rights. Reach out to us today at contact@newmoonfund.org and take the next step toward funding with purpose.
Tired of the same old advocacy advice? Get ready for a fresh perspective with The Idealist, the monthly newsletter from a great idea. We're the queer-owned agency that's been sparking change since 2015. Each month, The Idealist delivers a unique and inspiring approach to advocacy building straight from innovators across the country. Fuel your passion and discover new ways to grow, empower, and activate your community. Subscribe to The Idealist. It's your monthly dose of inspiration. Sign up for free at agreatidea.com/idealist That's agreatidea.com/idealist.
Back to Power Beyond Pride, where we are talking with the amazing Tony. I am not going to butcher his last name, so do not listen for me to say it. But I will say that he is gorgeous, beautiful, sexy, and he is very smart and intelligent. So it's a great conversation. I'm also accompanied by my amazing co-host that I cannot leave out, Mr. Daniel W.K. Lee, who is the most wittiest person in the room always, and I love it. So since we are back, I do have one question for you, Mr. Tony, is what is one feeling or lesson that you have inside of you and when you are creating the films that you want to leave on people who watch your films and your documentaries? What's your lasting impression?
My lasting impression is that trans and queer people, we are so fucking badass because I'll tell you why. We find joy and humor in the most worst situations on earth. And our humor and our sarcasm is unmatched. I gotta be honest with you. There's nothing like LGBTQ humor. We're just hilarious. So my lasting impression is no matter what you're going through, no matter how hard it is, if you live in a red state, you can find joy, you can find community, and you can outlive your bigots. Yeah.
I
Love
like
that. Sarcasm. I'm gay and I'm Cantonese, and Cantonese is the most sarcastic language in the fucking world. It is right up my alley. I get you. All right. It's time for a speed round. It's time for speed questions. Speed round questions. Let's get that right. And so we're just going to get to know you a little better. We want you to tap into your reptilian brain and try not to overthink the questions. Just let it out as fast as you can. Ready for this?
Well, not too fast.
Let's do it.
All right.
Is that like truth or dare?
It could be.
No, well,
you don't know.
We say truth or dare, but I mean, it's more so truth than it is dare. But yeah, you know, which
Okay.
I think that's something we should come up with, Daniel. We should come up with dares for people to do if they don't want to answer the question. All right. So your first question is going to be, what is your favorite ice cream flavor?
Rocky Road. So good. That's my go-to.
Rocky Road. Does that have marshmallow in it? I don't remember.
Yeah, it has everything. I don't know, pretzels too, I think.
Pretzels. Okay. I haven't really eaten ice cream in a long time. So, all right. What is a personal motto or mantra that you live by?
Ooh, that's a good one. I think glass half empty, half full, because I always try, no matter what I'm going through, to see how the glass can be full. Every day I practice gratitude at the end of the day. So I feel like I guess the motto would be no matter what you're going through, there's always something to be grateful for.
Lovely.
That is so true. So true. Yeah. What is a
it's
specific
a mindset
way?
shift.
But it has to be. I think you are correct. And going back into what you said earlier about just staying joyful and hopeful, you have to find the joy in everything. You do. You do. That's the only way we get forward. So what's one specific way you prioritize your mental health? That's a big one.
I get movement in every day, even if it's just a 30-minute walk. I have a lot of energy. So if I don't get it out, I get like kind of crabby. So I take care of myself first thing in the morning. I try and go for a little walk, get the sun, like my sun in, go to the gym. Because I feel like when you get those endorphins running physically, your mental health improves right away. That's just me though, maybe.
And your day goes by so much smoother. I start mine off with exercise too. It's the best way to get your day to go.
Yep. Yes, I am a 5:30 a.m. gym person as well. So absolutely.
Well, I ain't say I don't know, 5:30. I'm still in the bed at 5:30. I'll meet you at 8 o'clock, but not 5:30.
All right, next question. What's a specific moment when you felt truly connected to a group of people?
Going back to the sarcasm humor thing, like I went to LGBTQ Outdoor Fest. It's like this organization called LGBTQ Outdoors that I volunteer for. It was last month, and I was there with 150 trans and queer people, all kinds of LGBTQ spectrum. And I was like, felt so connected to them because we were just in nature together. We were in cabins together. And I'm telling you, I was laughing my ass off every second. Like, I have never felt so connected. That's when I realized like our humor is unmatched. But yeah, I would say that would be one moment I felt we were one.
Drawing off of that moment that you felt connected, what's one piece of advice you'd give to someone trying to be a better ally in this day and age?
I think the best allies, they don't assume they know everything and they listen. And if they don't know something, they do their own research, they ask politely, but it's just all about listening and not assuming you know better than the minority that you're talking about. Yeah.
100%. Absolutely. Next question. Do you have a favorite tattoo?
Ooh, yeah. I have so many tattoos. One of them, my arm sleeve covers up my phalloplasty scar. So like phalloplasty is like bottom surgery for trans men. So I think it would probably be my arm sleeve. Like I have a Spartan soldier on my bicep. So I think that's cool because it's like my inner warrior. So yeah, my tattoo is my arm sleeve is all Greek side. And then I have a back tattoo that's Persian. That's my Iranian side. So I have like my ethnicities on my body. Yeah. It's I might get more, but yeah, my Spartan soldier is my favorite so far.
Not might.
The next
I mean,
time-
I think most people who ever have tattoos are just like, they're just waiting or saving for the next one. I know I
Exactly.
am. So
Okay, so what's one thing you wish more people knew about you? Mm.
Dun dun dun. I'm like, well, I am single, so there's that.
yes.
I mean, the cat's out the bag, y'all. Look here, listen.
Put that in the video clip. Thanks.
I know, right? I guess. Man, one thing I'm like, my first language was Greek, so that's pretty cool. I guess like I had to learn English. I speak 4 languages. Spanish, a little bit of Farsi, Greek, and then I guess English too. I guess I speak English, maybe not. I'm trying to think what else. I don't know. Maybe I think I'm boring or something. I want to climb Mount Everest, so that's maybe something that people don't know about me. I want to try and climb it, so that's cool. I know it sounds like a crazy goal, but I can do it.
No.
So yeah, I don't know. Are those interesting facts? I'm not sure. Maybe
I
the
will say
single thing's
send
the
me
most
pictures.
interesting.
But send me pictures when you get
Oh,
to Mount
yeah.
Everest. I'm not coming with you, but the other rest, I'll pack you.
I'll send you a video so you can feel like you're there.
There you go.
What's one thing you're currently obsessed with that you're slightly ashamed about?
Ooh, I'm like, oh no. I know there's I'm like PG rated. No. What am I obsessed with? Oh, I have so many obsessions. I do have a Marvel obsession and
Ooh.
DC obsession. So like I am a bit of like a comic book nerd. Like I just finished Peacemaker season 2, which is like a DC comic show. So yeah, I do have a little bit of that nerd in me.
Okay, so
So
I mean,
I'm
since
obsessed
you
with
brought
that.
that up, DC or Marvel, or are they equally matched?
Ooh. I think it's Marvel slightly beats DC, but DC's recent movies and shows, they're on the upswing, like Superman. So could be, I
You
could
liked
answer
the
DC in a few
Superman?
years. I liked it. Yeah. I think it had a good like theme, like empathy and stuff. You didn't like it?
I feel
I
like
loved
it was
it. I
too
thought it was actually the
comical.
best superhero movie I've seen in a long time, if not ever.
Yeah. I thought it
Even
was
though I think,
amazing.
even though I love Henry
Mm.
Cavill, but like, yeah, I thought it was actually really great.
I felt like it was a little too, but you know, it's funny. It took me back more to the comic book. I will say that. So it was more comic bookish than it was cinematic. But I felt like it was a little too trying to be funny, I guess, is what I got from it.
You know what it was? It was very earnest. And that can be very arresting in our
was.
very sarcastic gay queer milieu. we're like, is this earnest? And we were like, no. We
It
don't know what
did,
to do with that
especially
kind
the
of thing.
dynamic between Superman and his dog. I was kind of like, is this
It wasn't
supposed to
even
be
his
funny?
dog. It's his cousin's dog.
It's his cousins.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, oh yeah, okay, my bad. I'm sorry. I did fall asleep halfway through it. Don't sue me, okay?
Oh no.
I think it earns like a full viewing then. Yeah.
Guess I gotta go sit and
Next, you
watch it
gotta
all
have
over
the
again.
director of Superman so you can grill him.
Oh yeah, James
Look,
Gunn.
I know, I mean, I have learned this day and age. Let me be careful what I say. Don't come after me, the director of Superman. I was not trying to put down your film. So if you are listening to Power Me, I'll cry. I promise you. It was cute. I'm good. Everybody else loved it. There you go. That's my PSA. Yeah, you gotta be careful nowadays. You can't say but so much because you will get canceled. Which I'm actually, never mind. That's another conversation for another whole show. So I'm going to stay off of that tangent for a second and come back and ask you, what is a place in life that, or not even a place, but I guess a place in life or place in time that has made you feel the most grounded and belonging to yourself?
I'm an ocean person. Water is my element. Whenever, especially if there's a really good LGBTQ beach called Reese Beach in Brooklyn, whenever I'm there, I feel so grounded because I'm surrounded by community. So yeah, the ocean, immediate grounding in the ocean.
And then finally, what does Power Beyond Pride mean to you?
I think it's going beyond your identity to connect with people, but also being proud of your identity. Because I feel like my identity has shaped me. My adversities in life as a trans person have shaped me to become more wise, become more empathetic. So I think my pride is my power in a way.
I like that.
Where can people follow you and your work?
Oh yeah, the social media,
The promoting.
If if you want to learn more about Trans in Trumpland, we have a handy dandy website, transintrumpland.com. We're also on Instagram, Trans in Trumpland, Facebook, Trans in Trumpland, and then me. If you can spell my last name, you can find me on Facebook. And then my Instagram though is super easy. It's at Tony Z Films. So TONYZ Films. So I made it easy for everybody. I'm not on TikTok really, so don't ask me about that.
Oh, it's
You're
good
not on
because
TikTok?
that is.
I am, but I'm too like millennial boomer to use it.
Hey,
I am too.
I'm
Don't feel
older
bad.
than
I
you,
feel
and
like
you know
I'm
what? And I got into it. It's easy because it's very addictive.
Well,
I like
Daniel,
to
that's
just watch.
because
I'm an
you're
observer.
witty. That's a whole nother conversation,
Well,
Mr.
thank you.
Voya and exhibitionist over there. Look here, we're not having that conversation tonight. The show is almost over. You brought that up in the beginning of the show about your voyeuristic tendencies there. But I will say, I think I have 4 videos on TikTok. So I'm right there with you. And my niece cracks me up. She's always like, you need to do more. And I'm like, it's too many social media outlets. Look here, I can't keep up with all of them. It's too many.
They're all pretty much compromised. The only one I'm trying to like that is, I would say, politically not compromised is Upscrolled, and it's still a small platform. But anyways, I just wanted to thank you so much, Tony, again, for taking the time to have a conversation with us. And please join us again. We'd love to have you back.
Yeah, thank you both for having me. I loved this conversation. Love this podcast.
Awesome.
Well, thank you. Thank you. That makes us feel so special. Thank you so much, Mr. Tony. And yet again, I'm not going to say thank you 7 times, but I will say you have been a delight. Truly a delight to sit and talk with tonight. And I've enjoyed it. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And for everyone listening, I am your co-host, Mattie Bynum. Like I said before, I am the loudest person in the room, and I love being that person. And you can follow me on my social medias at Instagram at Mattie Simone 737, at Facebook at Mattie Bynum. And I did just tell y'all I had a TikTok. So I guess I need to promote that as well. And well, hold on. I think the name of that one is the same as my Instagram, Mattie Simone 737.
And I'm your co-host, Daniel W.K. Lee, poet, author, and I admit Gen Alpha slang kind of slays. And you can follow me at Strong Plum on Instagram and Upscrolled. I am on TikTok, but I don't remember what it is. I think it's Strong Plum as well. Remember to subscribe and get your friends, lovers, neighbors, enemies, frenemies to subscribe to Power Beyond Pride on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever you get your podcasts, and check out our site at powerbeyondpride.com.
Power Beyond Pride is a project of A Great Idea, a queer-owned design and content agency. Learn more about them at agreatidea.com.
This episode is produced by Shane Lucas. Mattie Bynum is the project developer. Our editor is Jarrett Redding with support from Ian Wilson.
And me and Daniel are both just a portion of our podcast host team. We are all awesome, fabulous, and beautiful. And we invite you to send in your questions and comments to Power Beyond Pride so we can stay in the moment and answer everything that you have.
Check out our new episodes each week, and we look forward to queer change making with you next time. Thank you from all of us at Power Beyond Pride.
Your mission is vital. Let A Great Idea help you magnify its impact. As a queer-owned graphic design and digital development agency serving nonprofits, healthcare, and education nationwide since 2015, we're dedicated to growing, empowering, and activating your advocates. Our award-winning work speaks for itself. We deliver transformative change. Ready to see your impact grow? Book a session and let's get started at agreatidea.com. That's agreatidea.com.
Hey, this is Sean Aaron, he, him, his, and I'm here to tell you about Them Boys Podcast. I'm the host of Them Boys Podcast, and as a Black queer trans man, the podcast amplifies the voices of other trans men of color as we share our transition stories. The podcast not only amplifies the voices of trans men of color, but it raises awareness and conversations around our lived experiences. You can listen to the podcast by going to themboys.org/podcast. That's DEMBOIS.org/podcast. I hope to have you join us on the next episode.